What's up? Well, I just wanted to talk to you about a project I've been working on. And in all honesty, this project probably should have taken me 20 hours, 25 tops. But it took me way longer. I mean like twice as long because I have limitations here in my shop. And it's only because I just never bought the equipment that I really needed, you know what I mean? Because I didn't think I was gonna be here this long. I didn't think I was gonna just keep banging up furniture for like the last 4 years. If I had known, I probably just would have bit the bullet at the beginning, but anyway, I'm a little salty today. I'm beat up, man. Like, these pieces of wood are heavy, okay? And having to move them around a zillion times just gets less enjoyable the older I get. And especially because I know I should just be working a little bit more intelligently. So the first challenge is, how do you break apart a piece of wood like this with just a chop saw and a table saw to make it square and parallel and all that stuff, right? And then I put an angle on this thing so it became even more complicated. And you know, basically, I just ripped one in on my bandsaw, which was easy. Then I cleaned it up on my joiner, and then I made it parallel here at the table saw. Piece of cake. When it came time to trying to like make it square, I ran into a problem because look at this stuff's 2 inches thick, right? And it's 14 inches wide. And even though I really love that woodpecker Exact 90, it is not designed to move big pieces of material around like this, right? It's just not. And my chop saw, it's a K-Pex, right? I mean, it's pretty good, but it only goes to a certain distance, you know what I mean? And then you gotta either like flip the board over or pick it up to make the final cut, right? So that became super annoying, and it's a good thing when I tell you all the time that you need to leave your parts longer than what you need, because in this case, it became really important for me because what I basically had to do is I cut this on my chop saw as close as I could to get it square, and it wasn't. It was like trapezoidal. So I came to my table saw, and what I did was I just took some masking tape and I just kept bumping out the section that needed to be trimmed away. And then I cut it, checked it with my square a zillion times, made sure that it was square. And then once it was square, I was able to flip it over and then cut it again, right? So that took way longer than you think. It should be so easy just to be able to take a piece of wood, break it down and make it square and parallel and all that other stuff, right? So the next thing I needed to do, right, was make a miter, because this is like a waterfall table, like, you know? So you can see that this blade goes in this direction, right? So since I'm cutting a miter on it, I can't flip the board over on this side and cut the face of it off, right? And leave the face on the bottom. And that's kind of a pain in the neck anyways, because there's a lot of movement, you know what I mean? And sometimes if it picks up, you just smoke the miter. So that's not the best way to go. So ultimately, I ended up doing, I came this way, right? And you guys know, I put the tables, I'll show you. Hang on. Yeah, see this how it goes. I'm getting so friggin' aggravated, you guys have no idea. And since I don't have like anything on this side of my fence, I had to get a creative way to get a piece of MDF, put it on here, clamp it on, tilted the blade. You can see that I have all these blade cuts right here. You see that? It's because I had to creep up on this thing. So once I got all that stuff set up, I made my cut. The piece got trapped in it, obviously, and it kept flying back. You know, I didn't try to take all of it at one time, right? I just kept creeping up on it, And then ultimately, eventually, I got the two small pieces cut, mitered, and then the top was like 60 inches. So just imagine having to do this with a big giant piece of wood, and it kept moving around. So it, like I said, I was just getting beat up and I just couldn't take it no more. So, whew. Oh, another thing I had to do, I had to cut an angle on the side pieces. So I just went to the bandsaw, cut it off, and then I needed to find a creative way to put this back on there so I could use this up against my fence to use it as a guide, you know what I mean? Since I didn't have any double-sided tape, I had to find a creative way of screwing it to the piece without going into the face of it. So like I said, all this work took way too freaking long, man. I mean like way too long, days. And I kept dropping it. Oh yeah, I've been a real bitch all weekend. And I'm only here by myself, you know, so I have nobody to take it out on. Rachel's not home, so it's just me all alone talking to me. Now you. Anyway, that was the most difficult part of this project. And with any project, right? It seems fun to do something new, but in all honesty, it takes so long to make jigs and all the other stuff that for me, a lot of times it takes the joy out of building a piece of furniture, because all my setup is the most difficult part. And then all of my shortcomings in my shop come to focus, like clear focus, because I'm stuck. I cannot do the things that I want to do. So in all honesty, man, I think I'm just gonna break all this stuff apart. I really think I'm gonna go buy a sliding table saw, even though I'm terrified, but I think I'm just gonna keep this one over here to do little stuff. Because look, I just can't take it no more. And I did go to Felder, and I learned a lot about their equipment, about all that kind of equipment. And even though I'm definitely afraid of like a slider, it's just because I'm ignorant and I don't know any better. And I bought a shaper too, so that thing's gonna be here in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks or whatever. So I'm trying to hustle to make some money to pay for all this stuff. Now I'm making that live edge waterfall table. You know, I just call it a mitered table, you know? So after I had the pieces mitered, you can see what I have going on right here. This went across the width of the boards, and then I used a router collet, and I cut grooves in it, and that created a bunch of you know, slots where I was able to make some splines, and then I was able to fit the corners, right? Now look, there are certain rules that we need to pay attention to make exceptional furniture, right? Especially when you think about all the material that I'm using, right? Now this material right here probably cost $3,000. That's right, $3 grand. That's what that stuff cost me. And the project that I'm working on took 2 of these boards, 1.5 of these boards. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of investment in the material. And since I really pay attention to the material, that is what it's all about. So let me put this down. I'm going to show you this material, okay? I'm going to show you the final results of my efforts. Because even though I struggled like crazy, that's fine, because I never deviate from my mission, which is to make something phenomenal, right? That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. So let me just get the old Dr. Jellyfinger on, okay? Now wait till you see this material. There's a reason why I pay that kind of money for this material. This is just linseed oil, okay? And this is gonna come to life. And it was so difficult to plane this, to joint this, to sand it, to get it with no tear up. This is tiger maple at, I don't know, $15, $12 a board foot or something crazy. And it's super awesome. And there's nothing more frustrating to be willing to buy the material, to put the hours in, to do the work, only to be limited by the tools that you're using. So if you have a straight knife joiner, forget about it. This is just gonna be impossible practically to do, right? I mean, I used to do it with that machine, right? But it was difficult, obviously. And it took forever because I used to have to come back with a low angle plane, or a high angle plane rather, and I would have to hand plane the crap out of the surface. So I'm not plugging anybody's machinery, but that new head on that Felder joiner planer blew me away because I couldn't get over the result. What do you think of that? I typically wouldn't use one of these things to do this, but I just want to do it now. Just so we can continue to talk about this material. And the effort put forth. See what I'm saying to you? Whoa, that's cool, huh? Now you notice that I have the shelf on the bottom going the same orientation. You see that? Oh, I'm gonna try to take this stupid camera out of here. Oh boy, here we go. Hang on a sec. Hopefully I won't messed up too bad. Yeah, there we go. You see the bottom shelf? See that top shelf? Huh? Oh, there's my finger again. You think that was done by accident? Of course not. Right? You need to apply the rules of fine craftsmanship to get results like this. You see? I don't know if you, let me see if I can get on the other side here. You see the grain's pretty good, right? Where am I? Here I am. You see that? But more importantly, like, it's clean. That joint is super clean. It ain't square because it was damn near impossible to get a 45 the way that I butcher my way through those miters. But they're still pretty good, you know? They're not like the best. I'm a little disappointed that there's a little gap in there, but that's just me. That's the level of perfection that I'm trying to get to. But you can see how the grain is coming up and going across, and that's what people are gonna pay attention to. You see right here that like that's really clean. It's not like offset or whatever, right? So yeah, this is the goal. And doing it with those machines, just ain't cutting. Ooh, here's my new machine. It's nice. You know, too bad I couldn't afford the bigger one, but I'm grateful I got that one. Well, I hate working like a donkey. I really do. I can't stand it. You know, I don't mind putting in 70, 80 hours a week if I'm being productive and banging something out, but to stand here and work like a jerk, knowing that there's a better way, is what's killing me. So, hey, that's what they have credit cards for. So you can just, you know, put it on the arm and have some confidence that, you know, this is going to be successful, because in all honesty, I believe I can make these tables. And I think that people will buy them. I'm just being hopeful, right? They're going to be 3 drawers in there. You know, don't worry about it. That's what's like. And they're going to look like that. And they're going to be on an angle. They're going to be super sweet. So the next time you see this thing, it's going to be donezo. All right. Well, enough of that. I'm going to clean up. Woosah, baby. Take it easy. Wait for Felder to open. And see if I can get one of those saws on the arm. All right. I'll see you.